Hello students, and welcome to the next lesson in our AS level economics course. Today we're going to be looking at the circular flow of income. What is the circular flow of income? The circular flow of income is a model which is going to show how firms, otherwise known as producers, and households, which are also called consumers, are going to interact in an economy. Firms produce the goods and services which the households are then going to consume. These goods and services are the national output of our economy. Households are then going to buy these goods and services, and this is the national expenditure. National output, national income, and national expenditure are all equal to one another in an economy. So now we're going to look at the actual model itself. This is what the circular flow of income is going to look like. We have a household and a firm which is going to interact with one another. Firms give households goods and services which they produce, and households provide firms with the factors of production in order to be able to produce it. For example, labour, in order to have people actually produce these skills and these goods and services by working using their own skills. Capital, by providing them with the assets and machinery which they're actually going to have to use to produce them. For example, also enterprise, which is going to have the people from households develop these kind of ways in which we can combine and use all of these other factors of production to produce goods, which are then going to end up being our national output. So households are going to spend money, and they're going to spend money on the goods and services produced by these firms. This is the expenditure of the households. Then the money that the households are going to be able to produce, or the goods and services they're going to get from these firms, is then known as the income. Now we're going to see how injections and leakages can actually fit into the circular flow of income. Here is the basic model of the circular flow of income which we've explained. Now we can have an injection which is actually putting kind of beneficiary, or sometimes it can be beneficial, but kind of AD components which are going to improve the amount of economic growth which we're going to have in our circular flow model. So government spending and exports can be an injection into households, because the more government spending and exports we have, the more money that we're going to be able to use in order to invest and be able to produce more factors of production in order to increase our income. We can also have an injection of government spending, exports and investment into our firms, because an increase in AD into our firms is going to allow us to produce more goods and services in order to further increase output. So for example, exports, investment and government spending are all meant to increase AD, seeing as there are factors of AD, and as a result this increase in aggregate demand is going to allow us to have greater income. Some leakages include taxation, imports and savings. This is because as we tax more, as we're going to import more goods, and as we're going to be saving kind of a lot more money, the amount of expenditure we are going to be using on our own kind of based firms in our economy, such as the UK, we are actually going to be spending less and producing less as a result, due to the fact that we're not going to be having all of these components of AD increase the amount of spending we are going to be using and the amount of production we're going to be producing in order to have all of these goods and services. The same goes for firms, as firms are going to be subject to savings, more taxation and more imports from other countries. We're not actually going to have the amount of money to be able to invest as a firm and improve productive capacity by investing in perhaps more capital uses of goods in order to improve technology, or spaces to open up jobs for other people. And as a result of this, we're not going to be able to produce as many goods and services, and this means that it's a leakage to the system. Here are some questions on the circular flow of income. Have a go at answering these on another sheet of paper by pausing the video, and then hit play whenever you're ready to see the answers. Here are the answers. If you got these right, congratulations. I'd advise you to move on to the next video, which will be on GDP. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.